At some point, you could say, if it's relevant.
Hi, we're speaking today with Dr. John Guillebaud. He's an emeritus professor of family planning and reproductive health from the University College London. Good morning, Dr. Guillebaud. We're going to call you John from here on out, if you don't mind.
Perfect.
We are so excited to have you as part of World Vasectomy Day's various happenings this year. We talk to you every year. You've helped us in so many ways. So I just have a few questions for you. And I want to start with, in the scope of what you care about for humanity's future, where does family planning fall?
Well, that's a great question, Deidre. I was a medical student when I first heard about the importance of family planning because I went to a lecture on population from a biologist, just a student lecture, and it changed my life. And I decided that actually family planning, to me, then and ever since, is the most important branch of medicine. Why? Because it should help, and will help eventually if we get our act together as a planet, to get away from this dreadful imbalance between birth rates and death rates that is causing a population explosion. And we have now too much human life for all life to have any chance, not just human life. We're just going mad. We've increased our human numbers sevenfold since the middle of the 19th century. So I decided my future was to be a family planning specialist, and I got myself trained to the board level for both surgery and gynecology. So I've done 4,000 vasectomies in my career. The last a third or more by the no scalpel technique, which is the only good way to do it. But also lots of women's procedures like tubectomies, clip sterilizations, hysterectomies, whatever. But all because I was so sure that family planning was such an important thing.
Great choice. Where do you see affluence falling into the conversation about population, for instance?
Well, it's not an either or thing, Deidre. It's both, isn't it? We've got to have, all of us have got to reduce the size of our footprints. And I try and do that personally. We've got 10 bicycles in our garage because we've got quite a large household with my grandchildren living next door in the same house. And so I'm a great believer in bicycling. And we've got solar panels which generate both electricity and hot water on our roof. So we're very highly insulated, so we don't heat up Oxfordshire, where I live, but just heat the house. And all these things. We must do all these things. We must reduce our footprints, no debate, especially us rich people. But at the same time, the world needs fewer feet as well. It's not either or. It's fewer feet doing the footprinting and all of us producing smaller footprints. And definitely not either or. And that's been my belief. I've got a website, Eco Time Capsule, which is all about this. And it's always been holistic and covering all these things, not just family planning, but family planning is the thing that's often overlooked. And vasectomy as part of family planning is a super thing because it's a chance to have what you might call positive masculinity. There's so many bad examples of negative masculinity and domestic abuse and rape and all that in the world. And vasectomy is positive masculinity.
Very good answer. What resonates for you about our approach as World Vasectomy Day?
Well, it's because the world needs repeatedly to be reminded that vasectomy is even a choice. Even in a country that does quite a lot of vasectomies, like UK, unless there's repeated affirmation, particularly by men themselves, saying this is a great thing to do, and it's time we did our share. There's so much of the avoidance of babies when people don't want children is down to women who why should they have all the load? I mean, it would be wonderful, really, if we had a male pill. And I've actually been doing quite a lot of research into male pill in my career. I wish we had one, but it wouldn't be great to have that too. And I think just to take your share, and this is something we can do now, just step up to the plate and have a vasectomy as a token of love of your partner and the fact that you can now have a family of the size that you can properly care for and perhaps educate better and give a better life. And that's particularly true in the developing world. So that's another thing I like about World Vasectomy Day, because it is World Vasectomy Day. It's for rich and poor countries. Men everywhere can take a share in this, both for their own families and for the future of the world.
Well said. Thank you for that answer. I think that was really well expressed. So what other projects or initiatives do you support that align with the World Vasectomy Day philosophy?
Wow. We haven't got time to go through all the different irons I've got in the fire. I mean, there's a wonderful project called Chase Africa, which works in East Africa. I was actually born in East Africa and went to school in Uganda. Chase Africa does two things at once. It's got about 10 organizations it works with, providing family planning services, but also planting trees. Again, both sides of the coin. Planting trees for climate change, but at the same time, family planning to help women and improve women's health, and at the same time, stop the explosion of numbers, of course, which then leads to problems with wildlife in Africa as habitats get destroyed by too many humans. And if you have birth control methods, this can be lessened. We call these programs population, health, and environment. And that's a really good way forward. There's another one in Madagascar that looks after the coral reefs. And these conservationists said, well, if you're going to conserve the coral reefs, then you need the fish to be conserved. And the best way to do that is have less fishermen, in the area through family planning. And then the other wildlife has a chance.
Absolutely, I totally agree. It's so true. What was your reaction when you first heard there was such a thing as World Vasectomy Day?
I tell you what, I kicked myself for not having devised it years earlier myself. that was my first reaction. I thought it was brilliant.
Oh,
just the way of highlighting this wonderful option within the spread of method. I mean, one of the things that we should stress is that great thing about family planning, which one loathes as being in the field for, as I have been for so many decades in the business, is choice. It's all to do with choice for the couple. And one of the things that annoys me is that so many countries still, you only have maybe condoms, maybe pills, maybe injections, but you don't have a spreader method. In the UK, we have all these choices, including for women and for men, vasectomy, etc. And it's anathema to me that we don't supply choice for all couples in the world. Vasectomy is a choice, but it's a very good and neglected choice. And in the usage of vasectomy, Deidre, varies enormously around the world. I mean, in New Zealand, something like 25% of men, by the time they reach 40, or couples of 40, they're relying on the man for vasectomy, which is nearly the best in the world. But in most of the developing world, it's essentially 0%, or it has been until it's just beginning to increase, particularly in Latin America. I think World Vasectomy Day is having great success in Latin America. But the country that has the most vasectomies done of all is Bhutan, B-H-U-T-A-N, Bhutan.
right.
And they have something like 5% of men having vasectomies, which is amazingly high for a lower income country. And also, the UN has declared that Bhutan is the happiest country in the world. And I don't know whether that's because vasectomy makes couples happy because they don't have too many children, or whether when you're happy, you're more likely to decide vasectomy is a rather good idea. I'm not sure which way around it is, but that connection is there in Bhutan.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yes, that's right.
Well, thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate it. It's always so great to talk to you. And I don't know whether I know that you're doing a presentation
That's right.
Summit, and so we'll be seeing you some more. But I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today.
Brilliant. Okay, you're more than welcome.
All right. See you soon.
And you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
You too.